What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Chicago, Illinois for episode number 46 of my WWE 2K16 Universe mode. That's right, we're in Chicago for main event. As making his way down to the ring as the lights go out, it is the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Y2J himself, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, he's set to go one-on-one with one of the two men he attacked on the previous episode of Thursday Night SmackDown. Chris Jericho, Tyson Kidd. They're about to square off to kick off this episode of Main Event. And Chris Jericho, he's gone downhill since losing to Adrian Neville several weeks back on SmackDown. Or some may argue that he's only getting better. I mean, his victory over Adrian Neville at Battleground can certainly attest to that, as you see the matchups displayed on screen, matchups that took place earlier on. And the main event for this one, I know usually I throw up a graphic, but today we don't. This episode, main event, it's going to be a #1 contender battle royal to determine, let me rephrase that, a Tag Team Championship #1 contenders battle royal to determine the opponents for Finn Balor and Hideo Itami at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Reason why I didn't throw up a graphic, we don't know who's gonna even be competing. It's almost like an open challenge battle royal. 6, of course you can't have tag team battle royals, which is unfortunate, but we will be having one member of 6 separate tag teams competing in an over-the-top rope battle royal in our main event. Who's it gonna be? Well, we'll find out later on in the episode. But first, Chris Jericho, one-on-one with Tyson Kidd. 2 Canadian natives set to square off. The last graduate of the Heart Dungeon versus the man of 1,004 holds. Here we go, and Tyson Kidd not wasting any time, but Jericho anticipating the animosity from Kidd. A nice counter, but Kidd a kick to the face, and another one. Tyson Kidd now the upper hand over Chris Jericho. It looked like Jericho was gonna control the pace of this matchup early on, but Tyson Kidd having none of that. Delivers a knee now to the face of Y2J. Jericho, though, caught the kick of Tyson Kidd, the elbow to the knee, and now Jericho really wrenching that knee out of place. We saw Tyson Kidd try to use this strategy on Neville a few episodes ago, but Jericho now turning it back on Tyson Kidd. Michinoku driver from Jericho. Jericho just mocking the crowd, mocking Tyson Kidd with that "come on baby" chant. And now a reverse elbow to Tyson Kidd. Chris Jericho, ever since he really turned his back on the people after low-blowing Adrian Neville, just disrespecting Adrian Neville after losing to him, things, I guess you could say, have gotten better for Chris Jericho. From a moral standpoint, Chris Jericho has descended into the depths of hell. Let's face it, last episode of SmackDown, he interrupted what could have been a classic match between Tyson Kidd and Adrian Neville. He went down there and he attacked both men with a steel chair and delivered a code breaker to Tyson Kidd. Neither man took too kindly to that, although tonight it's Tyson Kidd who gets the chance at redemption against Chris Jericho. Tyson Kidd flips Jericho over, now applying the knee right to the lower back and a chin lock, looking to wear Jericho down. This is a matchup not just between 2 former cruiserweights, but a matchup between 2 submission specialists. Chris Jericho, one thing he was well known for were his days in WCW as Lionheart. I mentioned this previously when he fought Adrian Neville. He'd have to tap back into those roots where he would face off against cruiserweights on a weekly basis. Jericho, though, being not utilizing as much high-flying offense as your typical cruiserweight, say a Rey Mysterio or an Eddie Guerrero. Chris Jericho, he had a bit more diversity to his offense, hence the nickname the Man of 1,004 Holds. And now Jericho, this is vintage Jericho, just stepping on Tyson Kidd, not even bothering to hook the leg. How disrespectful can you get? Anyways, Chris Jericho, utilizing his submission, that's really able to utilize, blah, blah, I can't even talk today. The ability to utilize that submission style of offense and that powerhouse style of offense when you're going up against superstars who are smaller than you, are quicker than you, you're not going to be able to out-wrestle them in a high-flying, high-paced matchup. Really works into Jericho's benefit. He's able to slow down the pace of the matchup more so than something that would fit his style rather than that of an Adrian Neville. Tyson Kidd, though, he's a submission specialist as well. You can't really ever count him out of a fight, so Jericho, this is going to be a bit more difficult for him. Tyson Kidd can match Jericho's style a bit better than Adrian Neville could. Now a sunset flip. 2. No! Jericho kicks out. Tyson Kidd looking to fly off that top rope. Here we go. Blockbuster from the top rope. This is what happens when I do like 5 videos in a row. I'm not used to this. Tyson Kidd. Now a forearm to the face of Jericho. And he kicks him. He staggers him to the ropes. And Jericho dumped to the outside. We saw him use this to Adrian Neville. Tyson Kidd, a full head of steam. Off the ropes. Cannonball. No! Was looking for that cannonball dive to the outside. But Jericho caught him in the face with that forearm. Oh, but Tyson Kidd's back up. Jericho took a moment to brag, to boast. But that is going to come back to bite him as he takes a back suplex onto the apron. Tyson Kidd thought he might have been down and out after taking that forearm to the face, but no. He caught Jericho off guard, and now slamming him into that barricade. Tyson Kidd backs him into the barricade, really going to work on that lower back of Chris Jericho. And now again, the knee driven right into the back, and the chinlock again applied, putting so much pressure on the back that Jericho taps out. But you gotta get the fall in the ring. This is not a Falls Count Anywhere match, so that submission really does nothing. But Tyson Kidd, if this were a Falls Count Anywhere match, he would have just scored the victory. Unfortunately for him, it is not. So the match continues. Tyson Kidd, springboard elbow drop, driven right into the heart of Chris Jericho. Now the hook of the leg. 2. No, Jericho kicks out. Still able to hang on, but for how much longer? Jericho's already tapped out once. If Tyson Kidd can apply that sharpshooter, he'll probably get him to do it again. It's just a matter of whether or not Tyson Kidd can hit it. The code blue connects, and Tyson Kidd trying to rally the WWE Universe behind him. Kidd again looking for a high-flying move. From the top rope, moonsault! And he hooks the leg on Jericho. Shoulders down. 2. No! Another near fall for Tyson Kidd. He is so close, and you see the frustration. He knows that he is so close to finishing Jericho off. He can almost taste it. Jericho a counter. Don't know what Tyson was looking for, but obviously he didn't get it. Chris Jericho has him up. Powerbomb, and the bridge into the cover. 1, 2. No! Now a near fall for Jericho, but Tyson hangs on. Jericho picks Kidd up to his feet. Now he hooks the arms, looking for that butterfly backbreaker. Jericho trying to soften Kidd up for the Lion Tamer. The walls of Jericho. So many different submission holds that Jericho can use at his disposal to just punish Tyson Kidd. And now, oh, rake of the eyes. And a low blow. Well, that's a disqualification right there. Referee rings the bell. That is a blatant disqualification. Chris Jericho. And he doesn't even care about the match. And now he's just mocking Tyson Kidd. Tyson trying to get back to his feet. Jericho is almost like, come on, kid, come on, get up. And then just slamming him back down. Chris Jericho, this is disgusting. Now picking Tyson up to his feet, giving him a helping hand, I suppose. But a code breaker. And Jericho, that low blow, he didn't even want the victory tonight. He didn't even care about defeating Tyson Kidd. He just wanted to humiliate him. He wanted to mock Tyson Kidd. And now look at this. Taking out the trash. Chris Jericho dumping Tyson Kidd out to the floor. This new Chris Jericho. I've talked about how Kevin Owens is far from a role model, but this Chris Jericho might even be worse than Kevin Owens, if I do say so myself. Jericho just throwing out the match tonight just for the sake of humiliating Tyson Kidd, just like he did to Adrian Neville several weeks ago. Now it is time for the main event, our Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Battle Royal. And making his way to the ring, our first entrant into this Battle Royal, representing the Catchphrase Kings, it is Big Cass, Colin CASSADY. And tonight, Big Cass is looking to prove that the 5 other men he will face in this matchup are SAWFT soft. Will Big Cass get the #1 contenders right for himself and Enzo Amore? This could be the breakout night for Colin CASSADY and Enzo Amore, and it's all on Big Cass's shoulders. How you doing? Big Cass, he's 7 foot tall, as Enzo Amore would say, and you can't teach that. But will being 7 feet tall help Colin CASSADY's case in this matchup? It very well could. Although, on the other hand, he's got a big target on his back. In a type of matchup like this, you want to get the biggest guy in the match out of the ring. You want to get as many hands as possible, get as many people to help you toss this guy out. But you want to talk about experience. You want to talk about a man who out of all these tag teams has experience in battle royals. You're looking at Wade Barrett right here. Wade Barrett, several months back, there was a #1 contenders match to determine the WWE, or the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. It was Wade Barrett who won the battle royal. Of course, he eliminated Roman Reigns at the very end of it. Wade Barrett, he has won a battle royal. He knows what it takes to get the job done. And now, if he could get the job done tonight, he sets both himself and Sheamus up for a Tag Team Championship matchup at Survivor Series. Well, here's one half of the team that Barrett and Sheamus defeated on the last episode of SmackDown. It is Jimmy Uso. And of course, the Usos, they've had a very rough time of it ever since Money in the Bank, when they lost their second Tag Team Championship opportunity against the Ascension. Tonight could just be the night. This could be the opportunity for the Usos to get back in the tag title hunt. The Usos, they may not have been able to defeat the Ascension, but hey, maybe, just maybe, if they win this matchup tonight, they can upset Finn Balor and Hideo Itami and become the new tag team champions. Well, you want to talk about upsets? Here is one half of one of the newer tag teams on the block. One of the newer superstars on the block. It is KALISTO, one half of the Lucha Dragons. Rushing his way down to the ring. KALISTO springing into this matchup. Yes, hate me for the pun. KALISTO, could he have the underdog story of the night? Could he get the job done for the Lucha Dragons? Could he and Sin Cara be the next #1 contenders for the tag team titles? Very well could be the case. This kind of battle royal, you gotta be a master of keeping yourself in the matchup. You gotta be able to hang on to those ropes and not hit the floor. And that'll play more into the favor of our high-flying superstars. Somebody like KALISTO, as opposed to somebody like Big Cass. Now making his way to the ring is 1/3 of the New Day, Kofi Kingston. And you want to talk about tag teams who have had a rough time of it. The New Day have had an incredibly tough time getting into the tag title scene. But when they finally did, only to fall short at SummerSlam, they've had a tough time getting back into that picture. Night of Champions, they were defeated by Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Stardust in a 6-man tag team matchup as well. So it has not been a very successful several months for the New Day. But perhaps Kofi Kingston could get the job done tonight, win this Battle Royal, and get the New Day right back on track. Because, hey, the power of positivity, with that, you can do anything. So who's going to be the 6th man in this Battle Royal? Who is going to be the What? You've got to be kidding me! Representing the Outsiders, it's Kevin Nash! Kevin Nash is back in Universe mode! We saw Scott Hall compete several weeks ago on SmackDown when he took on Roman Reigns. You can't be telling me that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are thinking about challenging for the tag team titles. This is unbelievable. I thought we had seen the last of Kevin Nash in the Cesaro Open Challenge, but evidently Kevin Nash, he's still got more left in the tank. His quads have still got at least one more match left in him. Well, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, definitely a wild card thrown into this Battle Royal. Nobody could have predicted Kevin Nash would show up here tonight. Big Daddy Cool. Oh, careful there on the quads, Kevin. Up to that second rope. Gotta be careful there. But Kevin Nash. Could the former founders of the NWO be the next tag team champions in 2016? Tag team champion Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Well, hey, I guess anything is possible if the New Age Outlaws can win the tag team titles in 2013. I guess anything is possible. Well, right now, Big Cass and Kevin Nash, the two biggest men in the matchup, going after each other. As Jimmy Uso going after Kalisto. Wade Barrett, Kofi Kingston battling it out to the top right of our screen. Meanwhile, at the top left, look at Big Cass. Colin CASSADY with Kevin Nash up on his shoulders, a suplex. Really putting that power on display. Meanwhile, Jimmy Uso perhaps looking to eliminate Kalisto, dragging him over to the ropes, but Kalisto fights him off. Barrett over the top rope, but he's able to keep himself in the match. Colin CASSADY and Kalisto are in trouble. Can they hang on? Kofi Kingston now over the top rope. He's in trouble. CASSADY shoulders his way back in the matchup. Kalisto hangs on as well. And Kofi Kingston, he's back in it. Because this is just going to be action all over the place. I think Kalisto just tried to hit Kevin Nash with a backbreaker or follow a slam or something, but that did not work out for him at all. Kalisto just collapsed. I mean, A for effort, Kalisto, but you're not going to be able to lift up Kevin Nash like that. That's not going to happen. Right now, Kofi Kingston, a gutbuster to Colin CASSADY. Jimmy Uso dumped over the top rope, but he hangs on. But for how much longer can he do that? Kalisto is going to work, trying to get Jimmy Uso out of this matchup. Can he do it? Can Kalisto get the elimination? Yes, he does. Jimmy Uso is the first casualty of this matchup. He is gone. We're down to 5. It's Wade Barrett and Kevin Nash going at it. Kofi Kingston and Kalisto double teaming Colin CASSADY at the top of the screen. There's a clothesline by Barrett. He just dropped Kevin Nash. Colin CASSADY, meanwhile, able to block the suplex attempt from Kofi Kingston. Now dumping him over the top rope. CASSADY could be looking for the elimination. No. Kofi Kingston able to get himself back in the match. And Kingston and Kalisto still going after Colin CASSADY. You know, two smaller men trying to double team the bigger man. That's the name of the game in this type of matchup. It's what you got to do to get the bigger man out of the matchup. Kalisto dumped over the top, but he hangs on. Kofi trying to eliminate him. Sit out powerbomb by Wade Barrett. And now it's Barrett and Kevin Nash double teaming Colin CASSADY. Seems as though Colin CASSADY is the man to eliminate in this battle royal. Everybody's going after him. Kalisto roll through into a kick. Right to the face of Kofi Kingston. Wins a change from Wade Barrett. Now Kevin Nash turning his attention to Kofi Kingston as he dumps him over the top rope. Wade Barrett. Oh, what a stomp right to the face of Colin Cassidy. Might have knocked him out cold. Meanwhile, Kevin Nash and Kalisto. That's an odd alliance, but temporary alliances will exist in this type of matchup. Kofi Kingston, he's gone. The New Day's chances at the tag team titles had just gone up in smoke. Kofi Kingston's out of this battle royal. Meanwhile, Cassidy and Barrett still going at it. Cassidy drops Barrett with a clothesline. Kalisto just bumped into Kevin Nash and he dropped to the canvas like a fly. There's a huge boot to the face of Kalisto. Colin Cassidy still going to work on Wade Barrett. There's been so much action in this matchup, I need to catch my breath. This is ridiculous. Wade Barrett in danger of elimination, but he shoulders his way back into this thing. Meanwhile, Kevin Nash dropped with a Kalisto dropkick. And now Kalisto going after Wade Barrett. Beautiful move. Almost like an elevated reverse DDT. Colin Cassidy and Kevin Nash now going at it. The two biggest men in this matchup. Colin Cassidy could be looking to eliminate Kevin Nash. Huge clothesline, but Nash hangs on. Just barely Nash keeping himself in the fray. Kalisto, meanwhile, trying to eliminate Wade Barrett. But Barrett with the elbow able to survive. Cassidy and Nash are both down. Barrett dumped over the top rope. Kalisto, can he manage to shove Barrett out of this? Colin Cassidy over the top rope. Barrett's eliminated. Kalisto gets him out. And a huge knee from Kevin Nash. Big Cass. He's gone. Colin Cassidy eliminated by Kevin Nash. And now we're down to two. It's Kalisto and Kevin Nash. And Kalisto wasting no time. A dropkick right to the back of the unaware Kevin Nash. And Kalisto with these kicks trying to get Kevin Nash out of this thing. But Nash with a counter. Sending Kalisto off the ropes. And a huge back body drop. That was about 7 feet in the air. Nearly 8 feet in the air. Kalisto almost launched over the top rope. Kevin Nash, he has the distinct size advantage over Kalisto. And now he dumps him over the top rope. Kalisto. No, he's able to keep himself in the matchup. But Kalisto doing a smart strategy, trying to chop the big man down to size. Rolling kick by Kalisto. And that is vintage Kalisto, if I've ever seen it. Kalisto, can he do it? Can he get Kevin Nash? How the hell is Kalisto going to get Kevin Nash over the top rope? Nash and Kalisto trading strikes back and forth. Kalisto again, kicking at the legs, going after the quads of Kevin Nash. It's about the smartest strategy you can have. Nash, he's in trouble. Kalisto clothesline, but no. Nash hangs on. A near elimination there. Kalisto, a dropkick. Kevin Nash is gone. He went over the top, managed to hang on, but he couldn't get back into the ring, and Kalisto drop-kicked him off the apron. And Kalisto, he's done it. The Lucha Dragons are your new #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Kalisto, he has done it. The underdog story comes true. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Universe Mode. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one, and until that episode, keep on YouTubing.